Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 1, entitled No Sanctuary. This was a very, very good episode, and I knew that it was going to be a good episode because I read kind of some reviews or uh, synopsis of the episode or ratings of the episode, and they gave it a 9.8 out of 10. So I figured that, okay, well, this episode is going to be good, and by all means, it kind of really exceeded my expectations, so to speak. So let's go ahead and get into this. So previously in the last season, Rick and a couple of other characters, Carl, Sasha, Glenn, and a couple of various characters, they went to the Terminus for I guess because it was for protection, shelter, food, everything was pretty much there. They went there, and it was led to believe to be this society that takes care, or a town that takes care of everyone. To Rick's surprise, it wasn't the case, and the end of the season 4 left off with them being trapped inside this train or crater. Okay, not crater, but train. Now, with this season, it picks right back up where it left off. Rick and the others are trying to develop a plan to get out of this trailer, this situation, and they are met by the bandits that were from season 4. They took them to this chop shop, so to speak, where they chop meat. They took them there, and they laid their heads on this sink, so to speak. It's like a big, huge sink, and the bandits started just hitting them with baseball bats in the back of the head, one by one, and slitting their necks, and the blood was just coming out and going all in the sink and stuff like that. And some of the characters, such as Glenn and Carl, and even Rick and Bob, they were getting really frantic, and they were panicking because this is something that they haven't seen before. Now, one thing that I would like to address in this episode is what Rick said. Now, people may see this as not too big of a deal, but for me, I think it is. And that, speaking of that, also Daryl was with him too. But Rick said, "I'm gonna kill you when I get the chance." And he said this to the leader. Now, I forgot what the leader's name is, but he said this to the leader. And this is a problematic issue simply because what could have transpired if, hypothetically, if it were to happen. And what could have happened was that the guy could have said, okay, you want to be brave? I'll kill everybody. Start off with Bob. I'll kill your son. I will kill Daryl, and I will kill Glenn. That could have happened. And when you are in that position as a leader, you have to think not only of your own interests, but the rest of your team, entourage, comrades. You have to think for them as well. You can't be so irrational as to believe that you can talk to someone who has a gun and a bat in his hand and is willing to beat everyone's face in. And that's something that I kind of wanted to focus on here, but I'm not going to stay on that too long. Also, we learn that Tyrese, the baby, and Carol are okay. Now, Carol leaves to go to the Terminus to save Carl and Rick and Daryl, Glenn, and the rest of everybody else, and Tyrese is left with the baby. Now, Tyrese is trying to debate with this guy and talk to him about saving lives and is it moral or immoral, and what's the overall message, and he's trying to figure out what should he do at this point. Now, it's going to spoilers, but unfortunately, Tyrese makes a very, very bad decision. He kind of steps away for a second because he hears some zombies approaching the door or the cabin, and the person that was tied up actually gets a hold of the baby, which I think his name is Judith. Now, Tyrese is able to take this guy down, and he's able to get a hold of the baby again. But that was something that I was kind of up in arms about too, because I think that he should have just killed that guy when he had the chance, instead of just letting him take hold of the situation. And when you're in a society or an apocalypse, a zombie apocalypse such as that, you can't think like how he's thinking. You're giving people too much of a leeway. and you don't want to do that as someone who has a baby in his possession. So there's some other things that happened with this episode too. I kind of wrote it down. Um, Rick definitely steps up in this series. Now, but someone who I really want to focus my attention on here is Carol. Carol, oh my gosh, man. There was this one scene that just took me over the edge here. And that was when Carol was calling for Rick and the other guys. She was trying to figure out where they were. And this girl comes out of nowhere. This lady comes out of nowhere, and she tries to fight Carol. Carol says, hey, just calm down. They start fighting, and Carol gets the best of her. And instead of just letting her die, she basically just lets the zombies come in and just pretty much take care of her. And that was pretty cool. Rick also, he finds a way out of Terminus, and he's able to save everyone. Carol meets back up with the group, and she is fine, and she's in good health. And she was actually the one that orchestrated all this events, and she pretty much set fire to the place. And Rick learned that. He was also happy about that. Now also, what I want to kind of focus on here is kind of towards the end. We see that there's someone who shows himself again. He's someone who has definitely showed Rick the ways to defeat the zombies. So if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, just watch the video and then come back here and we'll discuss it down in the comments section. So overall, this was definitely a good first episode for season 5. I'm definitely looking forward to the later episodes. But like I said, my only complaints for this episode is 1, Tyrese's decision to not kill that guy, and 2, Rick's irrational decision for talking trash to the lead bandit and the guy who trapped him, because that could have seriously escalated to something that didn't need to go there, but it didn't. So I can't really give it too harsh of a criticism, but those are just my critiques on this episode of season 5, episode 1 of Walking Dead: No Sanctuary. Wonderful episode. Everything definitely flowed well with this episode. And with that being said, guys, I'll check you guys later in another video for another Walking Dead episode, season 5 review. Peace. Stay